It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers, and I begin with the Daily Times. The major story here says, ASUU threatens to down tools over withheld salaries. ASUU threatens to down tools over withheld salaries, says if federal government can award road contracts worth trillions, billions for varsity workers, billions for varsity workers should not be a problem. That's what the writer is saying. And then another story here, steer clear of our pension funds, organized labor tells finance minister. The federal government has no intention of improperly accessing workers' pension savings, Edu replies. IGR, that's the story at the downstrip, with 318.5 billion naira generated in first quarter, Accountant General declares. Electricity tariff hike. Senate suspends discussion of report over court ruling. And then that story on the Rivers crisis. PDP dismisses claims of pressure to compromise position in court. Doctors, health workers decry federal government's failure to implement 65 to 70 years retirement age. Now, troops actively fighting in various theaters of operation, military spokesman is saying. We move to the front page of the Daily Trust now. Food insecurity, food production declines as commercial farms close. And the riders there, we are seriously affected. Farmers Union is saying production cost also a factor. Agro rangers would soon be deployed. That's what the federal government is saying. And another story here says Emirates return to Nigeria after 25 months. OIC First Lady collaborate to fight cancer. NEF endorsed Tinubu on expectations, not principle, Matsari is saying. That's the Northern Elders Forum reacting. And then another story here, 8 opposition parties meet in Kaduna, strategize ahead 2027. Gandhi's alleged corruption case transferred to another court. Man remanded for stealing the dawa in Kanu. And to the Guardian newspaper now. The major story here talks about legacy of waste. Abandoned projects dot Southwest amid push of scarce resource to new ones. Abandoned projects dot Southwest amid push for scarce resource to new ones. Another story here, Senate stalls debate against implementation of new electricity tariffs. NLC TUC boycotts negotiations as federal government promises to shift ground. And finally, students' loan application portal opens May the 21st. Rising cost of drugs worsens steep rise in hypertension cases. Family laments death of 41-year-old mother of 6 in Enugu crossfire. And terrorism, Nigeria needs partnership, not handouts, federal government tells the U.S. Edo Ondo polls stop abuse by governors, INEC tells security agencies. Now let's quickly move to the Nation newspaper. And it says, your hard-earned pension, say federal government assures Nigeria. The writer there's enough safeguard protection for savings. Now, payment of $1.3 billion, 1.3 trillion naira power sector debt will attract investors, says the African Development Bank. And the president, Uke's action, gas suppliers to be paid 130 billion naira. And at the top corner, 36 speakers back state police plan. NEC pledges better support for small businesses. No hiding place for fraudsters. EFCC vows. APC caucus Mutfwang speaker accuses the Mutfwang speaker of coercing Plateau lawmakers. Some stories you find on the front page of the Nation newspaper. And we'll move now to New Telegraph. And it says, Labour to FG, workers apprehensive, pension funds, retirement security. Labour to FG, workers apprehensive, pension funds, retirement security. Not meant for government projects, alarmed that government access nearly 70% of funds value without consulting stakeholders. Suspend new electricity tariff, Senate tells the Electricity Regulatory Commission. Emirates to resume flights to Nigeria October the 1st. Now, reps pass bill to increase appeal courts judges from 90 to 150. Those are some of the stories you find on the front page of the New Telegraph. All right. I believe that's all with me, Ibrahim.
All right, the first with me here is Nigerian News Direct with the screaming headline, Account Enrollment. Court validates CBN's regulation, permits collection of customers' social media handles. And the writers read, dismisses concerns, says social media handles not protected by privacy rights. Financial institutions cleared to collect social media handles for KYC. Edo elections. INEC to commence distribution of 373,030 uncollected PVCs. And also below the masthead, Emirates Airline to resume Lagos to Dubai flight October 1st, talking about the 1.3 trillion naira power debt. Also, Tinubu approves payment, unveils plan to liquidate gas debts. Death toll hits 11 in Kano explosion. FRS generates 3.94 trillion naira revenue in first quarter of 2024. Naira suffers loss, depreciates to 1,533.99. That's about it for the Nigerian News Direct. Next is Salian Times. Salian Times, 36 speakers back state police. 36 speakers back state police. Court remands ex-PMS boss auxiliary in Agodi Correctional Center. Tinubu welcomes Senegal President Faye in State House. Reports Dangote Refinery to buy 24 million barrels of crude oil from U.S. Dangote Refinery to buy 24 million barrels of crude oil from U.S. Rivers, you'll pay if you hurt anyone while expressing your useless support. Fubara warns local government chairman. Nigerian military declares Nigerian terrorist Halilu Buzu wanted. Ogun demolishes shanties, illegal structures in schools, shops. And then you find the picture of the shanties that have been destroyed or demolished rather. The state government on Thursday commenced demolition of shanties and other structures around schools and some market places in Abeokuta, the state capital. Evans opts for plea bargain in murder trial. Above the nameplate, we have no pay, no work. ASUU threatens to down tools over salary arrears. Finance Minister dismisses claims of alleged misuse of pension fund. Court backs CBN, directs banks to collect customers' social media handles. That's the Salian Times. Next is This Nigeria. This Nigeria is next. We have 227 terrorists snuffed out, 529 others nabbed, says DHQ. Declares Halilu Buzu, other alleged terrorism ringleaders wanted. And also Ondo, Edo, ensure polls don't turn into theater of blood and violence. INEC chairman Yakubu urges security agencies. And also halt electricity tariff hike now. Senate panel tells NERC demands more robust debate on policy instead of arbitrary band allocation. And on the ear of the newspaper, Nigeria Dubai skies open on October the 1st. as Emirates resumes flights. Next is This Day newspaper. Wale Edun, no attempt to illegally use pension funds. No attempt to illegally use pension funds. Says federal government will be guided by rules. Organized labor warns against tampering with funds. FAAC shares 1.2 trillion naira from 2.192 trillion naira gross revenue. Talking about This Day newspaper. Above the masthead, we have reports amid Nigeria's underproduction. Dangote refinery orders 24 million barrels of U.S. crude oil. Emirates resumes flights to Nigeria, October the 1st. Vanguard newspaper is next. Electricity. Most discos are technically insolvent, NERC declares. No plan to illegally use pension funds. Wale Edun, as NLC, TUC threaten federal government over planned borrowing. Emirates resumes flights to Nigeria, October the 1st. Salary arrears. ASUU threatens no pay, no work after 2 weeks. Above the masthead, Edo Guba, INEC to begin distribution of 373,030 uncollected PVCs, May the 27th. Latest Fitch ratings shows Tinubu's transparency. Latest Fitch ratings show Tinubu's transparency. That's according to Shatima. Minimum wage. Labour shuns Pali as federal government hints on raising offer. My enemies now sleep with eyes open. Fubara. Well, that's about it for the Vanguard newspaper. And I think the Platform Times, I'm not sure whether we've taken that. You didn't take that from your own end. No. Right. So convicted billionaire kidnapper Evans opt for play again. I think that has actually been taken. Ogunpoli, Poli's 18th matriculation. Rector advocates passion for education as a Platform Times. ASUU demands full salary payment, governance reforms. Chinese nationals jailed for illegal mining in Kwara. State clears over 200 illegal structures, new schools, markets. Man arrested for smuggling illicit drugs into prison for friends. That's about it for the newspapers up for review. I think we have one other one, which is not exactly as clear as I would love to. That should be the Nation Sporting Live. But I don't think we have that, at the moment.
Interesting. One of the stories that caught my attention is, okay, that's it on the screen, media ban for Finidi. Well, the details of that, you need to pick up the Sporting Live to get the details, right, for more. But one of the stories that caught my attention is the ASUU are planning to down tools again because they feel that if the federal government can award road contracts worth trillions, and then so billions for varsity workers should not be a problem. That's what they're saying. That's why they are giving the government some time to look into their matter because of their, I think, 2022 or 2002 arrears. One of those years, they are still, in that tussle with the federal government. So the conversation has not yet ended with regards to those arrears that had not been paid. So the question for some persons, then why did you call off the strike? Then, if you knew that government had not, given you a clear picture of when it was going to pay these monies, what was the conversation you had with government at the time so that you decided to call off the strike? Yes, we know that parents were putting pressure on government, on people, but then what was the agreement you had with government that made you call off the strike at the time? Anyway, we have to move on right now because...
We'll take that as a rhetorical question. You have to find answers to.
Absolutely.